Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillahi wa kafa wa salamun ala ibadihi allazina istafa amma ba'd. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. We start today's majlis, today's gathering with the beautiful name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we beseech Him, we beg of Him that Allah ta'ala allows us to have a gathering, have a remembrance, that Allah ta'ala allows this to be a source of transformation of our hearts. Allah ta'ala allows us to draw near to Him, and Allah ta'ala selects each and every one of us for His muhabbat, for His ishq, for His love. I will say that inshallah the next hour or so that we are gathered here, make every effort to clear your minds and focus on your hearts and feel that your hearts are like an empty vessel, that Allah Ta'ala is filling it with His muhabba, and feel this nuraniya, feel these tajalliyat, these fails, this nur coming down, descending upon us and entering our hearts. And inshallah Ta'ala, the whole khatmat khajigan and muraqabah, do it with muhabba. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألم نشرح لك صدرك ووضعنا عنك وزرك الذي أنقض ظهرك ورفعنا لك ذكرك فإن مع العسر يسرا إن مع العسر يسرا فإذا فرغت فانصب وإلى ربك فارغب. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم اللهم صل بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم يا قاضي الحاجات يا قاضي الحاجات يا قاضي اللهم يا كافي المهمات يا كافي المهمات اللهم يا دافع البليات يا دافع البليات اللهم يا شافي الأمراض يا شافي الأمراض اللهم يا رافع الدرجات يا رافع الدرجات اللهم يا مجيب الدعوات يا مجيب الدعوات اللهم يا مسبب الأسباب يا مسبب الأسباب اللهم يا حل المشكلات يا حل المشكلات اللهم يا أرحم الراحمين يا أرحم الراحمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين Ya Allah Kareem, whatever was read, Allah, we ask you that you send the reward of this as a gift from us to all the prophets and messengers, alayhi salatu wassalam, especially our beloved Hazrat Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah, send the reward of this as a gift to all the Sahaba Kiram, the companions, Ridwanullahi alayhim ajma'een. Allah, send it to the Ahl Bayt, send it to Umhat al-Mu'mineen, the Ashara Mubashara, the Khulfai Rashideen, especially Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, radiyallahu ta'ala. Allah, send the reward of this to all the Siddiqeen, the Shuhada, Ya Allah, the Salihin, the Ulama wa Mashayikh Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Allah, send it to the Aima Arba'a, especially Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, all the Muhaddiseen, especially Imam Bukhari rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, all the Mashayikh Turuq, Ya Allah Kareem, especially Hassan Basri rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, Junaid al-Baghdadi rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullah ta'ala alayh. Allah, send the reward of this to Shahabuddin Soharwardi rahmatullah, Imam Shazli rahmatullah ta'ala alayh. Send it to Hazrat Bahauddin Naqshband rahmatullah and Hazrat Mujaddid al-Iftami rahmatullah ta'ala alayh. Allah, send the reward of this as a gift to the arwah of all the mu'mineen, mu'minat, Muslimin, Muslimat. Ameen ya Rabbal Alamin. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل. حسبنا الله. حسبنا الله. حسبنا الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا خفي اللطف أدركني بلطفك الخفي. يا خفي اللطف أدركني. يا خفي اللطف أدركني بلطفك. يا خفي اللطف. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. الله. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا باقي أنت الباقي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. الله. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك إني كنت من الظالمين. لا إله إلا أنت سبحانك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله ذو فضل على المؤمنين. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك أستغيث. يا حي يا حي يا قيوم برحمتك. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. إنا لله وإنا إليه. إنا لله وإنا. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله ولي الذين آمنوا. الله الله الله. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. اللهم صل على سيدنا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والله ولي المؤمنين. والله والله ولي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. الحمد لله وكفى وسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والذين جاهدوا فينا لنهدينهم سبلنا سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. So if you recall when we started this Majlis Dhikr, there has been a constant theme that we have been following. We started off discussing what is known as maqamat ashara. These are stages or conditions that a salik goes through on their traversing the path towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then we started talking about um, the spiritual diseases that a person has, whether they occur within a person's nafs or whether they occur within a person's heart. Together we call it one spirituality. So what are some of those diseases, ailments? What are some of the things that we have to rectify in order to achieve purity of one's being? Now, I'll ask you, why is it important to talk about these things?
Disease, a person knows that they have, but they don't know that they have.
So more practice, more knowledge, more ma'rifah, so a person is self-reflected. And why else? Yes. To be insani kamil, to be somebody that is pure in their existence, because Allah Ta'ala demands a nafs that is pure in order for it to enter Jannah. ذَلِكَ جَزَاءُ مَنْ تَزَكَّى. That this is a place for people who are purified. So it's important to do that. Now, in general, when we talk about diseases, I would say that it is human nature that we are able to see other people's faults easily or easier than we are able to look at our own faults. That is why, for a lot of us, we are, alhamdulillah, kings in our own eyes. But when we look at others, very easily, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 faults we can just count on our fingers. So this is nature. This is the nafsani nature of a person. That it's easy to look at others and negativity or something bad. One reason is because we want to feel better about our own selves. There is some inner insecurity. And second is just what you're looking at in front of you, you're able to analyze much more than you are looking within. And I guess that is the issue today. That a lot of, the ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a lot of Muslims today, we are not introspective enough. We do not have this idea of muhasiba, right? It is said, hasibu qabla an tuhasibu, that you should analyze yourself, you should hold yourself accountable before you are held accountable. Meaning before we have to face Allah Ta'ala, then everything will be made apparent. But before that time, there is that muhlat, there is a little bit of time that Allah Ta'ala has given. So we can utilize it, we can analyze ourselves first. And this is why the wise people used to say that the worst kind of ailment is not an ailment, like coronavirus or AIDS or any of it. They said the worst kind of ailment is that the patient does not himself consider that to be an ailment. Okay? Why is that such a bad thing?
Because you're not going to solve it. You're not going to treat it.
You're not going to treat it. You're not going to do anything about it. If you don't think that something is an issue, then why make the effort to solve it? If my gazing around is not an issue, then why should I solve it? If I'm okay with whatever my tongue says, then why should I solve it? If I'm okay with whatever my ears hear, then why should I solve it? If, despite feeling the hardness of heart, we're okay with it, then why even solve it? So this is why the first step for a salik is to recognize, to gain ma'rifat of one's own self. This is why there is a saying, and I forget which sheikh said this, that the person who has ma'rifat of their nafs, that person has ma'rifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it starts with our own ma'rifah. Or in psychology, they will tell you, you should know your own triggers. You should know, what derails us. So this is basically self-reflection, self-analyzation, and a lot of people talk about it nowadays. And I will say, alhamdulillah, this hikmah, this wisdom has been there for us for, alhamdulillah, for centuries. So, we should utilize it. So what does that mean? I mean, should we stop advising others? Should we stop worrying about others? What should we do?
When we learn, we should give down at the same things.
Okay.
Otherwise, that happens with those authorities, the past the close ones.
So there's a very delicate balance here. Sometimes we fall in that whole thinking about, we just want to become Muslim. Muslims who's really worried about other people's Islam. Day in and day out, they just want to do everybody's Islam. So it should start with us becoming salih, or at least making the effort. And while we are making the effort, we should let others know as well, alhamdulillah, that we are on this path. And no one of us have reached our destination, because the destination is infinite. But at least now we know what New Jersey Turnpike is and where it leads. So we can invite others on it. If you want to go to Philadelphia, you want to go to other places, this is the turnpike, or this is the highway that you take. Even though I haven't reached Philadelphia myself, but I know for sure that this is the path that leads you there. So this is helping others. And so because on one hand, there are some Sufi people who will not give any da'wah. That is wrong as well, because da'wat ilallah is part of this deen, that we should invite others towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with hikmat, with muhabbat. But then we should also be working on our being a salih ourselves, being righteous and pious ourselves. And we should avoid being just a Muslim. One of our elders, he explained it in a very beautiful way. Back in the day, as they say, when they wanted to shine a diamond, there was like a special kind of rock that was used. And then they would use it, and then they would, rub on the rough diamond, and eventually the shine would come out. So the Buzurg, the Allah Wala, the Shaykh basically said that, you should not become that hard rock, that the diamonds come, they rub against the hard rock, they themselves shine, but there's no shine to the rock itself. So we should not end up in that place that we just all talk and there's no action, there are no conditions, there are no states, there are no feelings, there's no attachment, there's no ta'alluq, there's no muhabbat, and all we do is just talk. So it's a very fine balance that we have to achieve in our own life. Helping others on the turnpike, but also making sure that our own car is at least going 65 miles per hour, right? That we are making progress as far as our own suluk is concerned as well. And so this self-reflection, one of the imams of the Naqshbandiya suluk, Hazrat Mujaddid al-Afsani rahmatullah ta'ala alayh, he uses a lot of his, his maktubat are in Persian. A lot of the istalahat, or the terminologies that he uses, are also in Persian. And so he uses this terminology, which is called deed-e qusur. Deed means, what does deed mean? Eyes, or sight, or vision. Qusur, right? Shortcoming. So deed-e qusur basically means having a very close eye on our own shortcomings. And he emphasizes this a lot, that the salikeen should become people who have a close understanding of their own shortcomings. Because the general rule applies here that other people's mistakes do not become our good deeds. Right? So if we are focused on other people, this person is like this and this and that, fine. I mean, wherever they are there. But the fact that they might have fallen down, it doesn't make us any better in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it should really be focused on our own chests, our own hearts, our own nufus, and having a really deeper understanding of our own triggers. Very easy. If I know that if I'm going to be on a smartphone and it's going to cause me to fall into sin, then I should know this trigger. If I know that I will be walking outside and it's sunny, and then people take advantage of the sunniness outside, then I know that it's very difficult for me to control my thinking, and we should be very, very much focused that our gazes are not, they don't err. Similarly, if you're walking past some music store or something like that, and you come across disco, and it reminds you of your forgotten past, somehow, then it's a trigger. We know that this is going to bring back memories. So we should avoid triggers. We should avoid these pitfalls for ourselves. If we know that we cannot be alone, then don't be alone. Okay? If we cannot be alone and we know that it's going to be a problem for us, then the easier answer is that don't be alone. Go hang out, Chick-fil-A or something, hang out with your friend, do dhikr, do something. Go in the masjid, do itikaf in the masjid, and just don't be alone. So this is, a lot of that kind of introspection has to come from the salik himself or herself. I mean, we have to take ownership of our own spirituality. There's this wrong kind of idea that the Shaykh is just going to have like a magic wand and it's going to fix us. That doesn't work that way. Even though the Shaykh is a source of guidance, right? The rushd, murshid, the rushd in a source of guidance. Alhamdulillah, there's a lot of barakah in that, but at the end of the day, you have to want to change. Allah Ta'ala is not going to force hidayat or guidance upon you. So if you don't want to change, that's it. You don't want to change. You have made that decision for yourself. The mujaddid of the waqt can come and give you like full-time tawajjuh and still nothing will change if you don't want to change. So it has to come from that place where we see and we accept that these are the things that we have to work on, and then in that journey the Shaykh becomes a guide. With the du'as, with the tawajjuhat, with just the barakah of the sohbah, all of that. But so, I mean, reanalyzing our own niyas, reanalyzing our own commitments. Right? I mean, because the commitment, it could have been something else when we started the journey, but now it could have been just tagging along, and so you have to kind of recommit yourself. Take, for example, college. Right? When you start the first day of college, you know what, I'm going to do everything on time. You're not going to do it on time, but you still make the commitment. Everything on time. I'm going to go to classes on time, and I'm even going to do the homework the same day, and so all these commitments. And then time passes, and then before you know it, it's the second, third semester. It's like, really, can I take a semester off? Right? I don't feel like doing it, even though I spent all this money. And so we become weak in our own commitment. So we need a renewed himmah. And that himmah should be like, oh my God, I need to refocus and I need to understand what I'm doing, and recommit yourself. So same thing in Suluk, that people start off with a lot of energy. Oh my God, I'm to reach the skies, and sometimes the expectations are not met in the sense, because it's our own. How much time are we really giving to Allah? If we say that we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I mean, just look at when we love somebody in the world, how much time and energy and commitment we give to that person. And Allah is Allah. I mean, this is like a mortal being we're talking about that we give everything to. But when it comes to Allah, the creator of beauty, when we talk about Allah, the creator of the universe, and how much time should we really give to him? And we don't. Right? So we don't. And so because of that, we start to falter. And so it's very necessary to restart ourselves. We fall down, it's okay. everybody falls down in this path. Everybody falls down, and it's we hear stories about nobody's perfect. I mean, even though sometimes in books it feels like they're perfect beings, when we think about and talk about our akabirin and mashaykh, they all made mistakes, because the one that is masoom is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, are the prophets and anbiya. And when we talk about mahfuz, it is usually the kabair that they are mahfuz from. Saghair, everybody does every now and then. But the issue is that we have to become habitual in our tawbah, in our istighfar. That we fall down, you're walking, you stumble, what do? You just try to get up again. Same thing with deen. Because Allah Ta'ala tests your commitment. Allah Ta'ala wants to see your humility, because it's very easy to become self-righteous. Very easy. Very easy. You do 1 hour of muraqabah, that's all it takes to, mashallah, become the mujaddad of our own selves. Right? We're like, subhanallah, look at me, I'm doing this and I'm achieving this and the kayfiyat and falan and falan. So it's very easy to fall down. And so Allah Ta'ala then makes the salik fall down a little, so he can understand and realize that we are just faqir at the end of the day, and we have to show our need before Allah Ta'ala. Uske liye, it's important, inshallah Ta'ala, to become people who have deed qusur. And I really, really hope we do that every morning. And you make some commitments. What do you want to do? You do muraqabah during the day, and at the end of the day, you do some muhasibah. You look at yourself and see what you have achieved that day. Were you able to do the dhikr? Were you able to do the mujahida? Were you able to serve others? Were you able to be compassionate, merciful? All of that. I mean, it's a whole package. It's not just, okay, did I just do my muraqabah and that's it? No. Did I do the ikhlaqi tarbiyat? Am I a better person ikhlaqi wise? Because that is one of the beauty, out of the infinite beauties that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam brought in this world, is his beautiful ikhlaq. So we look at ourselves. Have I done any of that? Analyzing ourselves. So first thing is our own analyzation, deed qusur. So let's say sometimes it becomes difficult for us to do that. What are some of the things that we can do when it becomes difficult on our own to stand and run and to realize this, to go through this process? What are some of the things a person can do? So then you go.
Ask others.
Sure. Like who?
Shaykh, teacher, Bashir.
Right? So every person should, what they call in organizational development, they will call it board of trustees. That we should have people that we trust. We should have friends around us that we trust. And we should let them know. We should ask them. We should let them know that I'm going through this process of becoming a better person, a better Muslim, and I need your help. So if you see something, see something, say something, right? So if you see something that is off in me, I want your help. So everybody should have a few people like that. Today we become, because this is a very self-centered society, very like individualistic kind of thing, and like, who are you to tell me? It's my life. So we should get out of that kind of brain, mindset, and really ask people, identify some people. Sometimes it's okay to ask your peer bhais. If you don't have peer bhais, that's okay as well. Somebody in the masjid that you trust, but having some friends around you. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam mentioned that, a mu'min is like a mirror to other mu'min. And other people, when they talk to us about it, inshallah, it becomes easy to do. So that is the least we should be doing. We should have within our circles some friends that we can approach, that they can, and they should feel empowered to be able to let us know, this is something wrong, you need to fix it. So pious company, good friends, that helps. Nowadays, we have the Jamaat Tabligh, and this is one of the benefits of going out, that when you go in da'wat, you're around other Muslims, and some of them can help you with this. So you can say, well, I'm in this three days or 10 days or 40 days or whatever. And if you find something that I need to improve on as a person, as a Muslim, let me know. Okay? So that's the first thing. What is the second? What could be a second thing? Sure. Making dua, obviously, so making dua will be the answer for all of our issues, right? So including this. But in terms of like, if you're unable to find faults within ourselves or correct them, or we need some kind of support, structured way, what else can we do?
Yeah, test. Okay, test. To go through and to get the results.
Sure, like sometimes the mujahida and trials and tribulations are a gift from Allah Ta'ala that allow us to kind of refocus ourselves, our energies to Allah Ta'ala. That happens all the time. Because we are so comfortable, we are so, mashallah, in control of our lives, quote unquote, that Allah Ta'ala will send some kind of tribulation as a gift to us, so we are able to refocus on Allah Ta'ala. Okay. Another thing is this, and somebody said that before, is having, like mashayikh and murshid in our own lives. This is really the main maqsad behind it. That we open ourselves, again, not to like everybody to all the extent, but to somebody at least who can, who we can confide in, and, who can be there, who can keep us in check, who can push us when needed, who can, sometimes with muhabbat, but sometimes also with scolding, right? Tell us that when we're not doing what we're supposed to do. And this is the reason that a lot of these turuq were formed, because you needed like an organized and a structured way of approaching this. That people found that it was very difficult, and people were losing sight and losing that connection when it came to a lot of those inner qualities of a mu'min. Outwardly, like the outward form was there for the salat, was there for reading the Quran, was there for all of that was there, but the inner feeling and the inner consciousness, those qualities were dimming out. And so the mashayikh, they formed these turuq, and they, people started to go to them for exactly that purpose. And sometimes they would spend a lot of time with them, but over time things changed, and now we only spend not that much time. But again, because there's like a curriculum involved, because now there's some kind of accountability, that for sure helps us. And this is one of the reasons that we have these majalis as well, so we can remind ourselves the real reason why we're doing it. The reason that we're talking about spiritual ailment and all of that is because we need help with this. And so having mashayikh on our heads, kunu ma'a sadiqeen, this is a hukum from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that definitely helps. So having a shaykh is one. Second, having a support structure around us that we can plug ourselves into, that is very much necessary. Third, we could have learning from those people who are not that, Muhammad, learning from those people who may not be our well-wishers. Some of our mashayikh used to do that. So they used to learn from their enemies, if you want to call them that, because the enemies may say things, and there may be truth in that, right? And so again, we should not always just say, they just hate us, they're just jealous of us, and so they're saying these things. No, our akabirin, they used to read the news, they used to go through the journals and books and all of that, and they used to see what their, the opposite side was saying about them, in order to keep themselves in check. So I'm saying this because sometimes, go into a masjid, and let's say it's not a Sufi friendly masjid, or you go to some place, it's okay. Because sometimes we need that, because the words that they say, the things that they say, it helps to keep ourselves in check. Like their harsh words, and even if there's no truth to it, but just hearing those things, it helps to keep ourselves in check. And so our akabirin definitely used to utilize this and read about it, and Go into a place, where you know that nobody will praise you. That's the best thing you can do. If you want to really progress, go into a place where people will not call you a sheikh or this or that. They'll be like, oh brother, what are you doing? I'll call you by your name. And alhamdulillah, that's the best time, because again, that is part of our tarbiyah. It helps us get into a place where, you know, we are just us. We're just human beings. And we don't create these false self images and deluded self images about ourselves. Okay? So all of these things help. But inshallah ta'ala, making sure that we write these things down. With this Didi Qusur, our Imam, one of our Imams actually devised this. So it means something that, he wanted to see within people in this tariq as well. Inshallah ta'ala, try to do this in terms of and inshallah we'll continue with this series, but we've already spoken about 6 or 7 of these spiritual ailments in some detail. So looking at those things, lust and anger and tama, hirs, and avarice and jealousy and bukhul, being greedy, and then badgumani, having bad opinion about others, ujab, self-love, arrogance, pride, some of these things we have discussed. You should create like a matrix and really try to judge yourself. And if you say, I don't have this, then test yourself. Oh, no anger, then go and put yourself in that situation, and you'll find out how much anger we have. Right? So inshallah, it has to be a realistic assessment. Don't be like, what, I did this, and alhamdulillah, lust is gone and anger is gone, and this is because when the time comes, mashallah, it comes back as a cobra that attacks you. Yeah? So we have to be realistic with these things, and inshallah ta'ala, judge yourselves. Nobody's judging. Judge yourselves. And if you want to discuss it, with your sheikh or whatever, obviously you should definitely do that as well. Again, in order so we can become somebody that is pleasing and pure in the eyes of Allah. Okay? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to become these people. May Allah ta'ala help us be very much goal-centric in our approach to tasawwuf, to the deen. May Allah ta'ala allow us to get rid of all these vices within ourselves. May Allah ta'ala give us a heart that is clean and pure. Give us a nafs, that's at least moving from amara to lawama, if not to mutma'inna. And may Allah ta'ala allow us to experience Islam as it deserves to be experienced. Ameen ya Rabbul Alameen wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Inshallah ta'ala, now we will sit down in muraqabah. So close your eyes and bow your heads in humility and humbleness. And let go of all of the thoughts in our mind. Just step back from them. Whatever thoughts about the dunya, about people in the dunya, things that we are tasked to, just step back from all of them. Bring your focus, your concentration, your tawajjuh down to your spiritual heart. It is 2 fingers below your left chest. Focus on that point, that area, that region, and negate everything in the dunya. Negate everything and everyone, including yourself. Go into this state of nothingness and affirm Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His existence. He is free from all naqais, any shortcoming, and He has all the kamalat, and feel Allah ta'ala is sending down His mercy. He's sending down His tajalliyat, His anwarat on our qalb, and feel it getting absorbed in your qalb. That your qalb is absorbing, like a sponge absorbs water, it is absorbing all the tajalliyat and anwarat, the nur that is coming. And now feel that your qalb is calling out to Him, and your qalb is saying, Allah, Allah, Allah. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. दुआ कर लीजिए. سبحان ربي على الوهاب اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. ربنا ظلمنا أنفسنا وإن لم تغفر لنا وترحمنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. اللهم يا مصرف القلوب صرف قلوبنا على طاعتك. ربنا هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين واجعلنا للمتقين إماما. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. صلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا رب.